Hello, welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm Geoff.
Welcome back, Geoff. It's been ages since we've had you on. It is. I think the last time you were on, you were playing Killing Floor 2, but that was with Ian, so I missed having you on. But I was still playing. Anyway,
it's crazy life. It's a crazy life.
Today we're going to be checking out Into the Breach, which came out on the 27th of February 2018. And I knew of this game as soon as it came out because of FTL.
Of course.
Being a huge fan of FTL, super excited to figure out what Into the Breach is. So, show me, Geoff, what is Into the Breach?
What is Into the Breach? Okay, Into the Breach is a tactical, turn-based strategy game, puzzle game. I think it sort of crosses both of those genres. It's a bit of both, really. It's all about defending the Earth from the Vec, which is a crazy insectoid alien race which has been here all along and is springing up from the underground.
Well, I was going to say, it looked like humanity... Did it just say humanity was destroyed?
Yeah, it's not gone well. Humanity's now reserved to just 4 little islands, which you have to try to defend and beat back the Vec invasion. And you've got a number of different ways of doing it. So every time you play this game, you're going to be playing it with 3 mechs. But as you can see from the hidden outline shadows, you've got a number of different types of squads that you can create.
I'm immediately going to make the comparison to FTL.
Yeah,
those are equivalent to your ships.
Those are the equivalent to your different ship types.
Yeah.
Once you've got them unlocked as well, you can even create a custom squad with hand-picked. But you need to get coins to unlock these, and you get the coins by completing achievements. These little achievements here, each one of those gives you a coin.
Right.
And then you've got victory medals here, which are just like your prestige. And then you also have pilots in the mech, so there's an added layer of depth. You've got a prime style mech there, you've got a brute mech there. I think there's a mech which is what they call artillery. Oh, that is artillery there, that's ranged. That one is I think this one is missing what they call a science mech. So I think there's 4 different mech types total if I look at the squads real quickly. There might be another one which I haven't really noticed yet, but yeah, so you've got sort of like different types of mechs. You've got different pilots. As you can see, these pilots here are all locked, and you will only get them when you come across them available to buy in game. Okay,
so you can't just go to a menu and purchase new pilots. They have to happen in the game.
When you've been playing the game and you get the chance to buy them in the game, once you buy a new pilot in the actual game, you'll get then access to choose it as one of your pilots.
Okay, that's cool.
What it does as well is each time you play through, because it is still a roguelike like FTL, each time you play through, you'll at the end, whether you beat the boss or die horribly, you'll be given the opportunity to carry over one of your pilots, or time travelers they're called, carry that over from that previous game into the new one. So you won't lose all the XP of your entire squad. You'll be able to take one of those guys with you if you want to, and if you don't want to, you can always change the time traveler to one of these ones back from scratch.
Okay, so I guess, how powerful can that one character be? I guess it can make all the difference. I mean, why would you not choose to time travel a character into the next one?
Well, if you really hated his ability, or you sort of feel like you'd still be stronger with the potential abilities marrying up with your squad of a different pilot, then you might want to go that way. But I mean, usually having a fully upgraded pilot to carry over will help give you an edge on the next game.
Sure.
But it just depends. You might think, oh, actually, I really hated that pilot. But I mean, if you've got far enough in the game and you've leveled up the other pilots you've got, then you'll just choose a different one anyway. So
sure.
So it just gives you the options,
Okay, so these, I take it, are the 4 planets? The 4 planets, the 4 islands.
These are your 4 islands. Now, you can go and fight the Vec boss after completing just 2 of these. and you will get a 2-island completion medal for completing 2.
Okay.
And then defeating the boss. It gets then scalably harder if you complete 3 or 4 islands.
Okay.
And each of them you go on to the 3rd or 4th island, depending on whatever order you play them in. Because once you've unlocked them, you can play them in any order.
Right.
The enemies get like they're more health, they do more damage, they're a bit more like tougher AI, tactically a bit better. Each time you go on to the 3rd or the 4th island, whatever order you play them in.
Okay.
But this is the first one we're stuck with, which is kind of like the green planet with forests and all that sort of stuff. So, we don't want to start a simulation because I'm gonna teach you. So when you get into this, there's your power grid at the top. Right, so now you can't just, with reckless abandon, just destroy Vec and then, like some kind of Hollywood movie, have all of your city spaces that are being defended just get wiped out. Because that is your limit. If that goes down to 0, game over.
Right, the power grid goes offline.
That's right, yeah. So to power your mechs, you need to have a power grid. These indicate your different rewards. You've got this little circular icon, which is a power core. You can use that to upgrade your mechs. Different weapons and different abilities on the weapons require power cores to be able to function. You can win more grid power up to the maximum. You've got 7 there that you can go up to. Any grid power icons you then win over and above that will help to increase your grid defense. So when a Vec tries to destroy one of your cities, you will have a percentage chance that will not happen.
Okay.
So that is your...
It's fairly low at the start.
Yeah, it's very low at the start. And so, some pilots will help boost that.
It. Okay.
And then getting over and above your 7 grid power will also increase that up to a maximum cap.
Okay.
And then you've got core reputation, which at the end of the island is what you want to buy whatever you want that's available in the shop at the end to help upgrade your mechs ready for the next island. So, as you can see here, to start off with, the corporate HQ is randomly stuck over on the left-hand side here. So I've only got access to 2 other areas. One will give me 2 reputation points to spend. One will give me another grid defense and another reputation point.
Okay.
Now, at my slightly more advanced level of play, I tend to seek the reputation points over the power grid stuff.
How come?
Because if you're good enough to protect your power grid, you shouldn't need any extra power grid. The amount you'll gain in grid defense becomes fairly nominal, and as I say, is capped.
Right.
I think the overpower bonus is capped at 25%.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas the reward bonuses will give you greater tools to defeat the Vec in the next levels. And then the holy grail, the golden nuggets, the ones you're always going to go for are the mech upgrades, because again, it will
seems quite essential.
It will strengthen your offensive. Now this is a basic. You've got your 3 basic mechs here. These are your first primary ones. You've got your prime combat mech. He's got a Titan Fist, and as you can see, as you highlight over it, it tells you what all the weapons do that you've got featured. It's got a little yellow
preview window.
It's got a little yellow dash in it because it needs power, and this is your power reactor here. You've got to have it powered up, and as you can see, it will require an extra power to gain another 2 health on that mech.
Yeah.
You can gain an extra movement point, or you can do something called a dash attack with another 2 power, or if you've really got that much power, you can add another 5
extra damage
to this guy. He will do an extra 2 damage, so he'll be wrecking stuff doing 4 damage a time. When you get a power core, this will highlight. This just says install, so you can put your power core in. That'll put some power in your reactor to spend how you want.
Nice.
And here's your pilot. Here's his abilities. As you can see, he's got none out of 25 XP. As you get to that 25 XP, you'll unlock another tier of his skills, and then another tier of his skills.
There's quite a bit of progression for each mech and pilot then.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, these are the generic pilots. These aren't the special ones with special faces, but these are also have 2 levels of upgrading. You can take, if you want, if you preferred the abilities of these two over this guy's 3, you could even take these guys with you into the next one. And this is the Taurus cannon, so this is a ranged brute class weapon, and then this is the ranged artillery weapon. This one, as you can see, this one, he will do like a kind of damage to the one that you're hitting, and then he does a pushback ability on everything that's around it.
Okay.
These kind of things become tactically incredibly important. Being able to push enemies away from certain squares and maneuver them around is equally sometimes just as important as being able to do them damage.
Right.
So
I believe you can actually knock enemies off the grid or into
you can
destructive terrain.
Yeah, indeed. And there are squads which are they're designed around either getting the Vec to smash each other, or, like you say, pulling them into areas of hazard, pulling them off the map and into the water and things like that. So, yeah,
all right, let's go kill some space bugs.
There's a number of layers to it, and as you can see, you can get a little preview of the mission with each one. We're going to just go straight for the research center, and this is a basic defend the train mission.
For science!
For science!
Okay,
for trains, actually.
I think we need to call the EDF right away.
Incoming! Hot dropping in. Right, so we're going to put our combat mech. This is the train. We've got to protect this. Each turn, this train is going to move across this track 2 squares as well. So if there's a Vec here or your mech here, the train will crash and burn. So you don't want it to have anything in front of that.
So you've got 4 turns essentially until the train makes it off the track.
Yep, and then you've got these buildings all around here you also have to protect, which...
Why? Why haven't they been evacuated?
And they've not. No. As you can see, I'm just gonna. That's my deployment. I'm gonna confirm the deployment, and you can see all the people. Oh, now the Vec are gonna get it. They've come to save us.
Okay, so we've got bugs on the track.
The reason you want to save these buildings is because every time that they are destroyed, you will lose a power.
I guess they do kind of look like big batteries of some kind.
Yeah. Now these Vec have all moved. These little squares here with the bubbling up from underground, that's more Vecs going to come down here.
Okay.
And these Vec here, these are flying Vec, so I could whack them over into the water, but because they're flying, they're not going to drown.
Right.
But they are sat here on
the track.
The track.
Only one of them's really in the way.
This one is going to attack this one. This one is going to attack the
red.
That guy is going to attack
pointers, I assume.
Yeah. And then this train is going to go and move and smash into that. So it's going to be destroyed, whatever happens here. Now, one of the advantages of each of these mechs is that when I do an attack, it will push these Vec into a different place.
Okay.
And now what I can do also is I can use that fact to smash them into other things.
Yeah, so they'll take additional damage, or?
So they will take additional damage when they smack into anything. So say another mech. Now as you can see, if I move Ralph over to here, he's going to stand on top of this emerging Vec.
Preventing it, I would assume?
Preventing it from coming up. Now, when that Vec tries to come up at the end of the level, I can look at the attack order here. I'll see the sequence of things that will happen and how they will happen. And when I've moved him to here, at the end of all of that sequence, we'll have the Vec emerge from number 5.
Okay.
As number 5. And that will do damage to my mech.
Right.
Now, I've moved Ralph over here, and as you can see, if I punch him now, I'm going to punch him into my own mech
and suffer damage,
and my mech will suffer damage, but my punch will do 2 damage. He's only got 2 damage anyway, so I don't need to take the damage on my mech.
No.
Now this guy here, he's obviously going to smash my train. I've got to get him out of the way.
Him. Yeah.
And this guy here, he can do all sorts of fancy stuff where he pushes Vec out of the way. So, I'm going to do my movement first and get them all out of the way. Now, if I've done a mistake here, I can undo an individual move.
How many times can you go back?
All of them.
Wow. Okay.
So whilst and as long as I haven't done any attacking, I can retrace all
Oh,
my
okay.
movement.
So, but if you attacked, then movement phase is over.
Once you've done an attack, you're then committed into that turn,
Okay.
and you have one chance per battle to reset a turn with this reset turn button here. So if I now attack this guy with my brute,
Yeah.
bang.
Okay,
I was moved him out of the way.
train, which is good.
It's only done 1 damage, but you know,
He's off the rail and he's not going to attack the train.
It did the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I moved this guy out of the way, and whilst I think about it, now that I can go, I can smash this guy. Boom, he's dead, and he gets XP.
Great.
So he's his pilot ability gives him extra XP per kill as well. So he got
it's a
4
bonus.
XP for that. And then this guy can go. He can bomb. He can't hit the
more
square right in
artillery.
front of him, but he can hit up to 2 squares away. Now, I could hit that guy for 1. But
And send him backwards.
I've now thinking about my turn. I'm thinking I could actually have removed one of these mech by hitting this guy with both sets of artillery.
Right.
So
You're gonna
I'm
reset
going
the
to
turn.
reset my turn. So now you can see that in action.
Yeah.
That's it. Now it's gone. Reset used. You're not going to get that back. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but now I have got the ability to go down to here. I can shoot him out of the way.
Yeah.
I can move him onto there.
Yeah.
I'll block a vet coming up.
That's right.
Now I can move him down to there because I've had a little rethink about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure he's
one
dead.
dead bug there.
There's a
Great.
dead
And he
bug
can
there.
kill that one same as
And
he
he
did
can
before.
kill that one. And we've removed 2 of our problem, and we're going to have 1 less of a problem on the next turn.
Yeah.
Now I've got to hold this out and get
Yeah.
this train out as the total amount of turns that it's going to take up there. I've done all my movement and my actions, and I'm going to end the turn. So now the sequence continues.
So we got to see that bug attacked the spot he said he was going to attack. Regardless, there was nothing there.
That's right,
Okay.
regardless. And as you can see, my mech here has taken a damage.
Okay, so there's no, it's not a freebie blocking the enemy coming out. You take damage.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
You take damage to get him out. Now, if it had been the case that I was able to move a Vec onto that position, it would be the Vec taking the damage, which is always useful.
Of course.
Now, this is a new kind of enemy here. We've got a Scion. If I highlight him, I can mouse over the icon down in the bottom left, and it tells me what he's doing. He's creating a passive effect, which is
It's going to
adding
give them extra health.
extra health to this guy. So you can see he's now got 3 health
Yeah.
instead of 2. So he's going to be harder to kill. But there's no reason why I should not be able to kill him. Now, again, I've got 3 more vet coming up here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a nightmare with 3 more of those. So I'm going to risk the 1 health on here. This guy's taken a damage. Now, I could use a turn to repair him, but it's fine. He's got 2 more damage. And what I really want
is to
is
get
to
rid of
get
that Scion.
rid of this Scion. Now, if I move him to there, now as you can see, this Vec was attacking this square.
He was, so he will do again next
So
time. So
he-
you don't want to be there.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily want to be there. But if I come to here and punch this guy, he's gonna cause me. He's gonna cause me 1 more damage,
Right.
and the Vec's still gonna turn up behind me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually going to do this because what I can also do is once he's dead, he'll only be down to 2 health.
Right, and he should be able to do 2 damage to kill that one as well.
Yeah.
And so then all the bugs on that are there right now will be dead.
So, but I'm going to make sure I do this in the correct order.
Sequence, yeah.
The correct sequence.
Now, how many spaces
now
can these mechs move?
I need to think about this because they've got 3 movement is typical. I think it depends on the mech.
Okay.
It shows you down in the little left-hand corner. See where it says Ralph Carlson down there? As I highlight it, in fact, as I select it, I can come down to here and I can see
3,
unit status. And that 3 movement is how much movement I've got. Now, so I've been put into a position here where actually I can't do everything that I want to do.
Okay.
I could damage this mech here, damage this Vec, sorry, here, for 1 damage.
Yeah.
I could come and do the second damage, but until I can get him out of the way, if I was to come and move this guy around here, because his movement is limited to 3,
Yeah.
I'm kind of in trouble. Now, what I could do instead is this guy can move down to here, so I could move this guy. The original way I wanted to do it isn't going to work, so what I can do instead is rejiggle how I plan this out. So I can punch him over there for 1.
Right.
I can bring him round here, punch him into that one.
Okay. He's dead.
Now he's lost his health.
Yeah.
I can now bomb him, and he's dead as well.
Nicely done.
So you got to just think about very carefully about the order of everything you do.
It's like small games of chess where it's just like you're just looking at 4 or 5 turns, that's it.
That's right. It's like super advanced modern computerized chess.
It also has a very
mecha chess.
XCOM-ish feel to it as well,
Yeah.
which I kind of like.
Yeah.
And so it is roguelike as well, and so it's going to be completely different generated tiles each time. It's going to look similar but different.
Yeah, I mean the tiles. This is the thing. There's variation in the missions you'll have available, but there are limitations to this game. It could do with an expansion for more of these grid tiles.
Okay.
You will begin to see the same ones again and again, and that's a limitation of how many they've managed to design into the game. They've obviously concentrated and focused on making sure that the function of the game is right.
Yes. Yeah. To build upon.
Yeah, and with a little bit of love, they will probably bring out more variety in the grid types.
Okay. No, it's interesting to say, because I think there's only really 2 people really responsible for building these games. And it was the 2 from Subnet Games that made FTL, and it was Justin May and Matthew Davis.
Right.
And they worked with writer Chris Avallone, who had worked on games like Fallout 2, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Just absolutely, he's got such a huge pedigree of writing behind him.
Yeah.
And so I imagine there's bits of story and dialogue in this game that's up to scale, would you say?
I think the writing's brilliant. Yeah, personally, I mean it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's nothing too fancy, too overblown.
But oh dear.
I might have to lose a mech here. It's the mech or the train. I did make a mistake with my initial move, so it's. But they're like FTL is incredibly simple.
Yes. Yeah. But it's descriptive enough, and then it's not over bloated either. It gives you all the information you need, and it gives you a bit of flavour to it.
Yeah.
And also, so speaking of giving flavour to it, Ben Prunty, who did the soundtrack for FTL, returns to do the soundtrack for this game. Which one is it? Is it appropriate? Do you think it matches? Because FTL soundtrack was fantastic.
As soon as you load it up, you'll recognise the
style.
Yeah, recognise the style straight away. And so I lost a pilot there.
So I was going to say, what happens to damaged pilots and damaged mechs when you come back? Do they all get a full heal ready for the next battle? Or?
Your mechs always come back, but if you lose a pilot, that's it, he's gone. You've now just got an autopilot.
Okay, so the mech comes, even if the mech was destroyed.
The mech you'll always have these 3 mechs to come back to as long as you survive the level.
But one might just become automated.
Yeah, that's right. And then you'll have a chance with your reputation to buy pilots or hire pilots at the end. Obviously, hiring a new pilot will enable you to then have that unlocked as well. So
you're always making a bit of progression every time you play. It seems.
Yeah, that's right. Now you see this one here. This has only got 1 thing on it to get. That'll be an extra easy level, and you can go in real easy for just 1. So and I've run out of selection here. I could either go up to here, but this will still limit the amount of stuff I've unlocked. when there's 3 squares of this left over, you'll then go into the final stage of the island. So for me, there's only one choice. I want the risk and the reward. So I'm going for the medium level. If there's 3 things on a level, it'll be extra hard.
Sure.
But I'll go for this Archival Flats because it'll unlock this one next, and then I will probably go for one of those 2, and then or Forgotten Hills, depending on which one looks like it might be the easiest one to complete. And there we go.
Right.
And then we'll be at the end of that level. These are all mines here, and I've got to protect this coal plant. Yeah, if you know FTL straight away, this will. There's a lot of familiarity with it. You can tell it's the same guys that have made it.
From the art style, from the music, from the writing, from its okay. So how about its replayability? Have you finished the game? How quick can you finish the game?
Yeah, I've finished the game with 2 islands. I've failed quite a few times because you just make a silly mistake, lose a mech, and sometimes you'll either like maybe rage quit and start a new timeline because you're just like, god damn it, I shouldn't have done that. That was a silly mistake, or you'll maybe have unlocked enough to try a different group and you'll be eager to do that. Very often, like, you'll get to the 2 island completion and you think, well, actually I think I could do a 3 island completion, and then you just get wiped out on the 3rd island because it's got a lot harder and you didn't actually get enough. So it's a bit like FTL, do you know what I mean? In that the further you go, the harder it's going to get, and there's an ever increasing chance that you'll fail as you go further into it.
I don't know. For me, FTL did become a case of it was just getting ready for the end boss. All the waves that you go through are just getting ready for the end boss, and that whether you're prepped for it or not.
Yeah.
Is that the case in this one? Are you trying to build a certain buffs or stats, or are you basically just trying to just get to the boss and then it's kind of doable? Or?
It's less focused around the end boss on this, I would say. The end boss is tough and you've got to defeat him, but there's more than one boss, there's a boss at each island you've got to defeat,
right? Okay.
And then there's and then it's about getting to the end of the end level, which is a really large challenge involving fighting off loads of enemies whilst you
protect buildings,
protect something. I won't tell you. I won't give you any spoilers, but you've got to protect something which is going to help you defeat the Vex. So you've got to, again, it's just a big strategy game, and
how do you feel about the idea of all of the enemies telegraphing where they're going to go and what they're going to do next? Is that do you think that's the best part of the strategy, or the puzzle nature of the game?
This is why it's not really as so much of a strategy game as it is a puzzle game. It is strategic because it gives you an element of flexibility in how you go about it. It's obviously a roguelike. It's got RPG elements because you are upgrading your mechs, you're deselecting weapons for them, you're doing all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, you're devising a strategy to defeat what is essentially an evolving puzzle. So it's just so truly hybrid. That it's kind of its own thing.
That's good though. FTL kind of set a benchmark for itself. And
exactly. FTL was real time, but you could also pause it and lay things out. So that was again sort of like a bit of both. It wasn't really one thing or the other. And I think it. That's why this is great. That's why you will love it.
It's the simplistic gameplay with the high difficulty, with the great art style and accompanying music.
Yeah, so you've not played anything like this. They've brought together
things similar, but not quite like this.
You've played something. You've played every element that's put in here in other games, isolated as a different genre. But they have collectively brought together all those ideas and created something new out of it. Yeah. So on to that end, more power to them. They've done really well,
So it's no surprise that the game at the moment holds a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah.
It has a 90% on Metacritic. on is it Good Old Games, or it has a 4.7 out of 5.
Yeah.
The the interesting thing that we looked at on the Metacritic is that it is a 90% critic review score, but a user score of only 7.7. And when we looked into it, there was really only one negative review that left a 0 out of 10, which has really kind of left a blemish on this game for the Metacritic. And that reviewer just said that it's devoid of replayability and essentially too easy.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes me wonder if that guy's figured out a system that means he always wins. I don't know what, but the thing is, you don't know what difficulties he's playing it on. You don't know how comprehensively he's played the game.
Right.
You know,
because FTL you would sink hundreds of hours into and keep coming back. Do you think you could find yourself doing that with this one?
I don't think this has as much replayability as FTL.
That is my guess as well. Looking at the game, I was like,
it's not as replayable as FTL. If anybody tries to tell you it is, they're lying. You know, like FTL is genius.
Yes,
it's absolute genius. But it's not quite on the same level. It's just still really good and really good fun. Yeah. It's if you like turn-based strategy games, which you're not required to be under any pressure. You just want to sit down, have a little bit of a think about stuff, and you know, take your time over and play a game that's kind of fun and exciting to explore.
And it's not overly priced as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's only 15 quid at brand new spanking. First came out price, so it's, you know, it knows what it is. It is, like you say, reasonably well priced.
Yeah,
and it's got everything around it that's from those developers that you've come to know and love. Yeah, in terms of their style of game making. So, I am
still very much looking forward to getting to play it myself as well when experiencing it. I kind of almost immediately recommend it because of the FTL background. You know, because I'm still just a massive fanboy for that game, and so as soon as this game came out, I had to have a look at it, and I knew you were playing it, so I was just waiting for an opportunity for you to show me what it's about. So with that, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. We're back next Friday looking at another video game. Of course, new film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
Take it easy.